With Doug Collins and Ahmad Rashad, Bob Costas at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. A look at the lineups for the Suns and the Lakers. First playoff meeting between Phoenix and LA since 1993. When Charles Barkley and company, seeded #1 in the West, lost the first 2 games at home before rallying to win the best-of-5 opening round series, winning Game 5 on their home floor in overtime. Here they meet in a best-of-7. The Lakers made to sweat a bit by Sacramento, taken to 5 before blowing the Kings out here on Friday night. The Suns dethroned San Antonio, winning their first-round series in 4. Shaquille O'Neal, who shot 60% from the floor in 4 meetings this year between these teams, all of them won by the Lakers, and averaged better than 33 points a game against Phoenix, gets the game's first hoop. Jason Kidd is wide open. Kobe flying out at him. He misses it, but Longley's on the offensive glass. Longley thought about it. Now goes underneath to the cutting Hardaway, and Harper disrupted that shot.
Luke Longley had a shot there, Bob, that he passed up. He's going to have to make that jump shot, and if he will shoot it in rhythm, he can make that when he's a good percentage shooter from there.
O'Neal trying to spin on him, and fouled by Longley. The Phoenix Suns took the politics stance, saying we don't really care who wins on Friday night and who we face in round 2. But that's a joke. They were 4-0 against Sacramento, 0-4 against the Lakers.
Well, that guy who's got the ball right now just distorts the game so much. Luke Longley already with a quick foul, and he's going to have to use his fouls wisely against Shaquille.
AC Green with 2 on the shot clock. Ball knocked away. A 2-on-1 break. Marion on Kidd's right, but Kidd takes it all the way for the lay-in.
How about a Jason Kidd, Bob? Misses almost 6 weeks with a fractured ankle, has 2 screws put in his ankle, comes back in Game 5, and looks like he's never missed a beat.
Looks like the same player except for the hair.
Great guard matchups here. Jason Kidd and Kobe Bryant here, 2 all-league defenders.
Bryant, first team all-defense. Kidd, second team. Longley, this time he tried to go catch and shoot, and coming over to knock it away was AC Green. Harper on the break. Finds Green wide open. Overshot it, and the rookie Marion, celebrating his 22nd birthday today, takes the rebound. Hardaway, tough hoop.
That's a nice play. It looked like Shaquille wanted to come out and intercept that pass. He got there a little late, and when he did, Hardaway with a quick step, and he gets it to the basket. Great start here for Phoenix. They're in the tempo they want to play.
Shaq in the lane, surrounded by 3 defenders, misses. Harper on Penny.
Normally Hardaway has the edge down there in that post, but Harper, as big as he is down there, that's a key matchup.
Penny's off with the jumper. Rice takes the rebound.
Harper did a nice job of pushing him out of that post.
Shaq got it deep, but couldn't score. He argues for the foul. No whistle. Ball poked away by AC Green. Now he takes off ahead of the field.
A thing to look for when you watch the Phoenix Suns. They force turnovers. They're 4th in the league in steals and forcing turnovers, but they will turn the ball over. That was a careless turnover by Jason Kidd.
Longley over Shaq. Robinson can't hit it. Rebound Rice.
Cliff Robinson, he needs to get some easy baskets. Bob shot under 39% against the Spurs.
Kobe. The lob for the rookie Marion goes astray, and the Lakers get it back.
Kobe Bryant, such an electric performer in the open floor. He's got the quickness. You see the quick step around Sean Marion, who's a terrific young defender, and then the strong finish. Sean Marion is an excellent shot blocker. Kobe just got it right to the front of the basket.
Now it's Hardaway on Bryant, makes the move on him, but the jumper won't go down. Kidd takes the rebound.
And Kidd is a very good rebounder, the best rebounding guard in the NBA.
but he just was hit with his third turnover. Here's Kobe looking for Harper, and a whistle from Steve Javi, working the game with Dick Bavetta and Don Vaden. Let's hear from Ahmad Rashad for the first time.
All right, thanks, Bobby. Doug just hit on Jason Kidd. You know, I talked to Jason before the game about his injury and his miraculous recovery. He said that the reason he was playing so confident when he came out, that his workouts were so strenuous. They were more strenuous than actually the game. He said the one thing that really helped was that there was never any swelling on the ankle. Also, he's not sore from the game he played on Tuesday night. As for the hair, Bob, that you hit on, he said, well, he was bored when he was sitting out, and he thought about body piercing. That would hurt. Tattoos would also hurt, so the only thing he could do was dye his hair, and if he didn't like it, he could cut it off. Bob?
Has he considered crossword puzzles when boredom sets in? Even up at 6, and the Lakers ask for time. 7:07 to play in the first. Game 1, Western Conference semifinals.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Miller Lite. The coolest stuff in the world is at Miller's Get the Goods Online auction. By the Air Force. You have plans. The Air Force can help you get them off the ground. Visit airforce.com. By Hewlett-Packard, inventing new ways to live and work. And by Nike.
Back in Los Angeles, Doug, let me ask you, the Phoenix Suns put together an all-star backcourt when they added Anthony Hardaway to Jason Kidd. How do the two play together?
Well, two very versatile guards. They both have size, and they both like to post up, and they can penetrate, and when they do, they create all kinds of problems. Here, Jason Kidd against Sacramento gets inside and gets the easy score. You see him, the penetration, the nice backdoor cut by Penny Hardaway, and the strong finish. And what happens when you get in the defense like this, it forces defenders to run at you, which now allows you that ability to get inside. When these guys penetrate and big guys help off, what it does is it frees up the outside shooting of Cliff Robinson and Rodney Rogers. They're two best three-point shooters who also happen to be big guys, so the Lakers are going to have to be aware of that today.
Of course, the Suns also have a former All-Star coming off the bench in their backcourt, the unretired Kevin Johnson. There's KJ.
Well, we talked about, I think, a couple keys when we watch this series unfold. First of all, rebounding. When you play the Lakers, you have to rebound. Right now, the Suns have 9-3 on the boards, which was great, but they have 4 turnovers to none for the Lakers. They have to win the battle of the turnovers.
That was the first Laker turnover right there. The guy on the dribble here for Phoenix has 3 of their 4 turnovers, Jason Kidd.
Well, sometimes when you're out and you come back that second game, it's more difficult than your first. And we've seen a little shaky ball handling by Jason.
Get it out of here, says Shaq on the Longley hook. Glenn Rice, third all-time in three-pointers behind Reggie Miller and Dale Ellis. Hits the triple there.
When he is the most dangerous, it's what I call a broken floor. When there's a turnover and you have a difficult time getting back to him, that time Shawn Marion just couldn't get there soon enough.
Longley trying to thread the needle to Robinson. A Phoenix turnover. Shaq in the paint. Backs it out. Here's Harper. And Ron Harper makes it 11-6 Los Angeles.
We always talk about the stars of this Laker team, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Glenn Rice. But what Ron Harper, A.C. Green, Robert Horry bring is so significant, the little intangibles.
Longley to Marion. He got free.
This young guy's got quickness off the floor, Bob. He's tremendous at making that second jump. And that's a nice pass by Luke Longley, who is a very good passing big man from that high post area.
Shaq, no-look pass to Harper, who had to change the shot. And at least he's coming to the free throw line. The foul was on Longley, his second. Let's review what's happened to Longley so far. He's picked up 2 quick fouls. The first time he had an open jumper, he decided not to take it. The second time he missed it. The first shot he took in the lane was slapped back in his face by Shaq. This is not a confidence builder.
Well, you know, Luke is a guy that needs to play with confidence, and when he struggles, he doesn't. He catches, he hesitates, he maybe tries to force passes that aren't there. I happen to believe if they're going to win this series, they have to have a good contribution from him. He has to keep Shaq occupied, make him come out on the floor, and even the threat of shooting the ball opens up the lane now for your slashers and cutters inside.
As he sits, Corey Blunt who played for Phil Jackson in the mid-90s in Chicago, replaces him.
You see, Bob, the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want Luke Longley getting fouls against Ron Harper and those kind of people. You want the big guys getting their fouls on Shaquille. That's where you have to use those fouls wisely.
Here's Hardaway. Fresh 24. Penny to Marion.
Good interior pass, and again, second shot opportunities. You can see right now the Suns are doing a nice job. They're not a big team. Cliff Robinson now is their center on the floor at 6'10". He can actually play small forward. And Corey Blunt, who was terrific against the Spurs, now matched up against Shaquille O'Neal.
And a whistle at the other end of the floor.
When you get second shots, what it does is you get teams in a scramble situation, and anytime you go to the basket, you can always count on Shaq being there waiting for you. Nice pass there by Shawn Marion. That's 2 inside plays now. He's finished nicely. Anytime he scores, he really gives this team an added bonus.
Foul was on Marion at the other end. AC Green from 20 feet. And Ron Harper can't control it. It goes out of bounds off Los Angeles.
Ron Harper with terrific hustle. You see those big guards that Phil Jackson likes. This time the ball just goes off his chin out of bounds, so the Suns will maintain possession of the ball. Rodney Rogers in the game, 6th man of the year, 4th best three-point shooter in the league, so keep your eye on him now.
Here's Marion. That one spins out, but he taps home his own miss.
That's what I was talking about. See how quickly he got back up. He shot the ball, hit the floor, and was back up sooner than anybody else could get there.
Fresh legs at age 22. Hitting his 22nd birthday today. He has 8 first quarter points. O'Neal, the running hook, doesn't get the bounce. AC Green. Ball's still loose. And finally, Phoenix has it. Sneaking back, Hardaway. And missed his connection with Marion. Kobe Bryant getting in there to help break it up.
You know, I like what I see from Phoenix right now, though. They've thrown caution to the wind here. They're playing loose and free. Tough pass here. Shawn Marion, almost a spectacular finish, but there is Kobe Bryant once again. We talk about him being a first-league all-defender. He saved the basket on that play. Robert Horry will check in for AC Green. Now, what Robert Horry gives him is a deeper shooter out on the floor, so be aware of him now, shooting that little perimeter jump shot.
Blunt screens for Kidd. But the jumper won't stay down. Robert Horry just in, gets it in deep to O'Neal, who can't finish it.
Shaq looks like he's rushing his shot right now. There's Rodney Rogers' three-point shooting way off the mark, but it appears that Shaq is out of sync here, Bob, trying to do things too quickly.
Kobe Bryant spins, has to double pump. Rogers got in and broke the shot up. And then they stop play as Phoenix comes out of the backcourt.
I think what you're seeing here early in this game is exactly what Phoenix wants to do. They want to scramble the game. They want to make it a quicker game. They want to get into the open court, get some turnovers, and right now they've got LA playing out of character. LA more of a rhythmic offensive team, playing right now a little too quickly.
Foul was on Horry, his first. On Hardaway. Penny leans in and it comes up short. O'Neal out to Harper. Here's Shaq. Hit his first shot, has missed his next 4. Make it 5 in a row now. He's got it back. And a foul on the play. The clock stops with 2:21 to play in the first. A 1-point game, the Lakers on top. After being fouled by Rodney Rogers, Shaquille O'Neal will shoot 2. As many of you know, his free throw shooting has improved markedly as the regular season drew to its close. He was under 50% at one point. And as you see in the season's last few months, he did much better. But After making 8 of his first 9 in Sacramento or against Sacramento, he has now missed 27 of his last 40 free throws. That's 32% since early in Game 2 of the Sacramento series.
Well, you know, Bob, that's a concern because regardless of whether Shaquille has been shooting them better or not, you know, come playoff time, teams are going to give him layups. And early in this ball game, look where his shots are coming from. First shot of the game, ironically, out of the lane of the jump shot. 5 interior shots that he's missed. And again, I think he's shooting a little quickly. No double teams right now. I think the Suns are just playing him straight up. If he'll take his time, he'll be able to finish in there.
He hits them both cleanly. Lakers by 3. Rodney Rogers passed through a crowd, and it's picked off by Harper. O'Neal deals to Bryant. Could have been a three-point play. It spilled off. He'll come to the line for 2. Kevin Johnson's in the game for the first time now for Phoenix. The foul is on Corey Blunt, the former Laker. Blunt is playing O'Neal defensively right now. They went at each other in practice for a couple of years here in Los Angeles. And folks, you can log on to MSNBCSports.com and click on Showtime Online for in-depth playoff coverage. Isaiah Thomas will be there, Bill Walton with his point of view, plus Matt Gukas debunks the greatest playoff myths, and Snapper Jones has an interactive on the best current and all-time point guards. MSNBCSports.com, official website of NBC Sports. And back at the other end, Corey Blunt with the hoop that cuts the Suns' deficit to 2.
Well, you see what happens right there after free throw. The Lakers napping, getting back on defense. Listen to what Sacramento did. They ran right back at them in Sacramento, got some easy scores.
O'Neal with the jump hook. Comes up empty. Hardaway hits the pull-up to tie the game.
That was a nice play, and you can see once again Phoenix is thinking, let's get early offense. Don't let the Lakers get their defense set. Let's make them play us on the move. We have the quickness advantage.
Bryant. It's short. O'Neal on the offensive glass. Nice pass to Harper. Second try, no good for Harp. And Phoenix looks to take the lead.
Looks like Shawn Marion got a little piece of that second shot by Harper.
Hardaway was fouled as he tried to slice through.
Hardaway's going to come down the floor. Now watch this little move he makes just to square himself up, get those shoulders square. Nice to the target, knocks the shot in. Again, I like what Phoenix is doing. My only concern right now with them is they have 6 turnovers, and they will not win this game if they get 20 turnovers because you expect the Lakers to win the battle of the boards.
O'Neal, who has shot only 1 for 7, goes out. Travis Knight in. Ball loose, but Phoenix recovers it. Robinson hits it. Clifford Robinson's history throughout his career is that his playoff numbers are considerably down every season from his regular season numbers. This year he averaged 18.5 and shot 46% during the season. In San Antonio, round 1, 13 points and about 30% shooting. So that unfortunate pattern for Cliff Robinson held through the first round, but despite that, Phoenix was able to beat San Antonio, which was without Tim Duncan, 3-1.
Well, this is what supports with you, Bob, what you were just talking about, what he's done during the regular season and playoffs, and this year in the first round of the playoffs. Now, he played tremendous defense against David Robinson in that first round. No question about it. One of the reasons they were able to win that series was because of his defense. But he cannot shoot under 30% in this series and then win. So he's got to be able to make that jump shot. He knows it. That was a great sign that he was able to step out on the floor. This guy is a very underrated player all the years in Portland, but he has really found his spot there in Phoenix, especially on the defensive end.
After the foul by Hardaway, Kobe makes 2. Hardaway goes out of the game. They've got Kidd and KJ in their backcourt now. Here's Rodney Rogers. Had to arc it high and missed it. Rebound battle won by Bryant. Tied at 18. Game clock overlapping the shot clock by about 2 seconds. Glenn Rice. 5 seconds to get a shot off. The pass deflected and out of bounds. Phoenix will have it from midcourt with 2.8.
Well executed play that time by the Lakers. Got Glenn Rice a bare jump shot there at the end of that clock. Phil has to be very happy about his team's execution. They've had a lot of easy shots. They just have not finished here in this first period.
KJ into Kidd. Unable to get a shot off as it was poked away from behind. The Lakers shot 5 for 23 as a team, 22% in the first quarter, which ends tied at 18. If there was any advantage for Phoenix coming in, at least on the face of it, the Lakers had to go 5. Phoenix got the rest. They could be a little bit fresher here in game 1. We mentioned that the Lakers had to go the distance to win round 1 against Sacramento. Since 1984, when the present playoff format went into effect, the 16 teams that have wound up winning the NBA championship, only one of them has been forced to 5 games, and that was the 1995 Houston Rockets in the first round we're talking about, and they came out of a 6th seed. 12 of the 16 eventual champions swept round 1. In the 6 years that the Bulls won the title for Phil Jackson, they were 18-0 in first-round series. Rodney Rogers' pass deflected. He gets it back. KJ's jumper isn't there. And the rebound is taken by Rick Fox.
Rick Fox in the game. I think they're going to really need him as this playoff goes along. Struggled a little bit against Sacramento. Came out of it in Game 5. Had 9 points off the bench and played well. Keep member of their team.
Kobe Bryant. Shaq on the offensive glass, but the foul is on him. Scott Skiles was telling us yesterday that perhaps the best way to get Shaq in foul trouble is just to have good board position on him, because he tends to go over the back in pursuit of offensive rebounds. That wasn't the case here. Most especially, it's when he tries to follow his own shot.
Correct, and your instincts are to go rebound the ball. He's just so much bigger, he goes right over the top of you.
Rodney Rogers.
Good play there by Rodney Rogers. They want to get him involved, and the Lakers know that, so they're targeting him when he comes in the game. Don't let Rodney Rogers get started.
Hold on, says Steve Javie. Foul is on Cliff Robinson. It's his second.
Rodney Rogers sets a little screen on the weak side. He pops to the basketball, the nice little strong finish. And to give you a little idea how important he is to this team, when he scores 13 or more points, they are 38-12. So he's really their wild card off that bench.
Derek Fisher. Way off. Sprinting back, Kevin Johnson for the sneak-out layup.
So they need KJ also. In that first series against the Spurs, he shot 8 of 26, under 31%. So he and Cliff Robinson both have gotten an easy basket here early in this game.
Lakers would like any kind of basket, and there it is, the surest way on the stuff by Shaq. Prior to that, LA had missed 13 consecutive shots from the floor. And yet Phoenix leads by only a basket. Jason Kidd to the hoop. Blocked from behind by Kobe Bryant.
You know, I sense in Jason Kidd, when he came down that time, he was a little ginger on that foot. And, Bob, we talked about it. Sometimes that second game back when the adrenaline rush is gone is your toughest. He has 4 turnovers in the game here.
Shaq blocked Rogers' attempt.
See if it looks like Kidd is gimping around a little bit to you. Doesn't look like he's running as smoothly as he did to start this game, Bob.
Robert Horry catch and shoot. Kidd grabs the rebound. Kevin Johnson, contact and a foul. Before he shoots his free throws, a timeout with 9:56 to play in the first half. And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
In the secure world, Blazer, like a rock.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by the new Vic Soft Wind. It's all you need for a great shave.
Doug, the rust versus rest argument rages no matter what sport you're talking about, so you could play it either way. If the Lakers came out here looking sharp, you could flip the analysis and say, well, Phoenix gathered some rust waiting after finishing off San Antonio. The Lakers continue the momentum right in here. On the other hand, they're the ones who have to turn around less than 48 hours later after being threatened a bit by Sacramento, although they did win Game 5 in a blowout, and they do not look sharp here, and Phoenix does, relatively.
Well, I think that when we talked to Scott Skiles yesterday, he was very pleased at the way his team practiced, the way they got their work done, the mental approach that they had coming in here, and I think that, you know, this team has really become a reflection of his tenacity. This is a very resilient team through all the injuries and everything that's occurred. For them to have this kind of season has been really amazing, and I think more importantly, Bob, they believe they can win, and if you're playing the Lakers and you don't have that kind of confidence, you might as well not show up.
Brian Shaw is in. Kobe Bryant, for now, is on the bench. 4 reserves and Shaq for Phil Jackson right now. O'Neal, they hold a team meeting around him, and he misses. He won't miss the follow, though.
That's what you were talking about, the second shot that comes back to Shaq. What you need to do is turn and try to box him out, but your instincts to go for the rebound, and he's just too big and strong.
Cliff Robinson to the left hand. Tough hoop, and it wouldn't drop. Rick Fox. Shaq, little hop, and the short jumper good.
Well, Jason Kidd went down to help, and he took a very poor angle. If you're going to go down and help, you cannot let Shaq step through that little jump move that we just saw. You got to squeeze him, make him run through your chest.
Jason Kidd at the other end gets the assist as Rodney Rogers scores.
You can see what the Suns are doing. They're going to that high screen roll with Jason Kidd, and the Lakers are not honoring his jump shot. They're going underneath the screen. He's turning the corner, and that's how Rodney Rogers is getting open.
Ball knocked away from Horry. Fisher recovers it. Here's Derek Fisher up and under.
Derek Fisher, after really only 7 minutes in Game 3 in Sacramento, a DNP coach's decision in Game 4, had a good game in Game 5, and they need him also off this bench.
Robinson, offensive foul. And that's 3 on Cliff Robinson.
Bob, I know you've heard me so many times talk about when you leave your feet to be a passer, you are in serious trouble, and that's exactly what happened. Robert Horry steps right in, and he takes the foul. That is a big loss for the Phoenix Suns. Clifford Robinson will sit down. You see 1 of 3, and already 3 fouls. Corey Blunt is back in the game, and we've not seen Oliver Miller, so Corey Blunt has played himself ahead of Oliver Miller. You'd think maybe you would see him against Shaq because of his size.
Shaq, Kidd looking to cheat over and help. Now he tries to get back out to Shaw, but not quickly enough.
What a big addition Brian Shaw has been. They went into a summer league game. Phil Jackson went to watch him playing at UCLA. He loves big guards. He liked what he saw. He signed him, kept him around, and what happened, what really saved him was when Kobe broke his hand early in the season, it got him a spot on the roster.
O'Neal comes up with it, outlets to Shaw. Lakers lead by 3. Shaq in the paint. They surround him. He deals out to Fisher, and the whistle blows for a 3-second violation.
Shaquille O'Neal had that ball in the lane. Penny Hardaway came over to double team him. Looked like he was going to take the ball away from him, and Shaq just about ripped his shoulders off, pulling the ball back. The extra pass, Lakers were in the lane, so another turnover there. The Suns hanging tough here, down only 3.
Here's Fox with a steal, but Kidd takes it right back. Johnson into the corner for the wide-open Rogers. Short with the 3. The rebound, though, to Blunt. And Rogers, in what appeared to be, in tennis terms, an unforced error, dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds. Lakers have the ball in a 3-point lead when we come back. When Danny Ainge resigned 20 games into this season, Scott Skiles became the Suns' head coach. Skiles, who still holds the NBA record with 30 assists in a single game back in 1990 for the Magic, was a teammate of those two guys, Penny and Shaq, in 1994 in Orlando. And we asked him about the progression of those two players.
Well, they've, taken different roads. Shaq has, obviously he's come out here and his game is, it's well documented, the improvement he made last summer. All the offensive moves he has now, the kind of hunger for playing defense and the clear leader of the team and all those kind of things. Penny, was under fire for the last 2 or 3 years. And yet he has had a great year for us, quietly, I think, until recently. He came to us, everybody was saying he's overrated, and I think now he may be underrated.
With more, let's check with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. I've spent quite a bit of time with Penny this year, and Penny is telling me that he's really tired about talking about what happened when in Orlando and all that stuff. He has been much maligned over the years. He's been hurt, but what you're saying now is the new, more mature Penny Hardaway, that you're seeing at his best. He has no injuries. He's comfortable with his surroundings, with his team, and he says he's out to show everybody that what he's all about. And when he is right, Penny Hardaway can be a force in this league, Bob.
Ahmad, thanks. After a slow start, Shaq has now scored a dozen. Lakers lead by 5. Hardaway baseline. Shaq came out to contest him. He arced it over him for the hoop.
Now that's right on cue. Now we used to see Penny Hardaway want to take that ball to the basket and get inside and jump over people. Now he's playing the thinking man game and Shaquille O'Neal shaking loose in the lane. But you're seeing Penny now use his fundamental skills, get to where he wants to get and shoot that little jump shot.
Shaq has hit his last 4 field goal attempts in succession. Hardaway out of the corner for 3.
Right on cue. Little Penny Hardaway segue there. 5 quick points to keep his team alive in this game, trailing by only 2.
Kobe thought about a 3. Penny up on him. Here's Shaq against the much smaller Blunt. The defense converges on him, and somebody fouled him. It's on Sean Marion, his second.
Shaquille O'Neal has settled down. Remember, I talked early in the game, I thought he was doing things much too quickly. He's gotten a little tired, and in doing that, he's gotten into a better rhythm. Penny Hardaway just sort of floats out to this three-point line, and that three-pointer from the corner I always like because that's the shortest one to shoot from that corner. Penny slides out there and knocks it in. 5 quick points.
Luke Longley's back in, Corey Blunt out, and Shaq gets the bounce.
Take a look at the Orlando combo when Penny and Shaq played together down there. You can see big numbers appeared in the NBA Finals in '95 against Houston when they were swept. But the new combo out in LA now is Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, and those two guys have made their presence felt all season long. And Penny Hardaway again is having a terrific year in Phoenix.
Hesitate to call out a shooter's bounce, but somehow that did go in for Shaq, who has scored 16 and is 4 for 4 from the free throw line in this game. Luke Longley. He needs to make some of those if Phoenix is going to have a chance. Hardaway on the offensive glass. Rogers for 3. A very good three-point shooter, 4th best in the league, but he's been off on 3 three-point attempts in this game, and he's missed them all badly.
Well, you can see the look on his face. The one thing you can't do is start doubting yourself as a shooter. Rodney Rogers has sort of got that head bopping around a little bit. He's 2 out of 8. And if the shot is there, he's got to take it. You can't start thinking about it. You'll start talking yourself into a bad shooting game. It's easy to do.
Lakers touched it last. Phoenix keeps it. And a whistle as Kidd cuts through the lane. Meanwhile, Rick Fox has gone out and Glenn Rice is back in for the Lakers.
Bob, you made a great point. When Penny Hardaway got in the lane, he curled in the lane the previous possession, and Shaq was over there waiting to defend against him. A beautiful pass to Luke Longley, and those are the shots we've talked about all season long that the opposing big men are going to have to make if they're going to be able to eliminate this Laker team.
Phoenix asked for time. 4:38 to play in the half. They trail by 4.
Penny Hardaway is going to make a nice curl into the lane, and this is what we're talking about Shaquille O'Neal defensively. This is where he's going to be, right here. Look where he is defensively. Now here's Luke Longley right over here, and Penny Hardaway gives him a real nice pass. And this is the shot that he's got to make. He misses the shot, but during the last time out, this is what Scott Skiles talked to about with Luke Longley.
Shoot those first ones, Luke. Taking your open shots to keep that guy honest. Doesn't even matter if you make them, just keep taking them.
Will he?
Well, that's the confidence thing again with Luke Longley. He has a tendency when he misses a few to stop shooting, and he cannot do that. He has to be a presence for his team out there.
Here he is with the catch, the fake, the shot, and the miss. The rebound to Marion. He can't hit. Now Kobe Bryant between two defenders. Look at him go, spinning and hitting, plus the foul. High-fiving everybody in the first row between the foul line and midcourt.
Well, how about this? This was on the dead run against Jason Kidd. Rodney Rogers back to between his legs, the spin. He did so many things until we slowed it down there. We couldn't even see all the stuff that was in his game. The little fading shot off the glass, the high fives. Kobe Bryant has become a big-time star in this league. And, Bob, I've talked about it before so much on the telecast. The thing I love is he knows Shaq is the main guy on this team offensively. But what he brings is the second guy offensively, leading this offense, and defensively what he does. He has made this team a championship caliber team with Shaquille O'Neal.
Here's Longley inside, but it was knocked away by Ori. And into the hands of Harper eventually. Lakers up by 7. Looking to put some daylight between themselves and the Suns. Kobe Bryant into the lane, lays it in.
Phoenix right now is going to be kicking themselves. They've done a pretty good job on the backboards, but the turnovers are killing them. We talked about their ability to turn other people over. Right now, their turnovers have got them down 9.
Longley again against Shaq. Scores plus the foul. And that'll be 2 on Shaq.
The unforced error inside is Luke Longley exposed the ball. The ball is stripped down. Ron Harper throws it ahead. And Kobe Bryant, you have to honor him from that three-point line. He got one dribble, the strong finish to the lane. When you look at Phoenix, one of the things they don't have really is a shot blocker out there. Other than Shawn Marion, when you go to the basket, if you're the Lakers, you don't have to be concerned about somebody changing your shot.
Longley can't complete the three-point play. Now he tries to contend with Shaq at the defensive end. Backing in on him with the jump hook. The follow by Harper, and then
how often have we talked about when you play the Lakers, you better rebound. In their 3 wins at home against Sacramento in round 1, they had 58 offensive rebounds. They got 44% of their misses back. About 29% would lead the league. That's how huge their offensive rebounding has been.
Hardaway over Harper. Penny Hardaway now with 11. Jason Kidd hasn't had a particularly good first half. 2 points, 5 turnovers, 5 assists. But Hardaway has played well. O'Neal looking for some help. Finding Harper. 4 on the shot clock now. Here's Rice. Rodney Rogers out to Jason Kidd. Hardaway putting some moves on Harper and then pulling it back out. Rogers screens. Hardaway hits the 3.
I've never seen him play better. What I love, and it's what Ahmad talked about a while ago, is the rhythm and the confidence that he's playing with. That time he took his time, didn't have it early, ran screen roll and hit the 3. Nice play.
Kobe Bryant, 3 men on him. He thinks one of them might have fouled him. But it was simply knocked out of bounds. Laker ball under the basket.
Kobe Bryant penetrating to the basket. Let's take a look right there. Looked like Jason Kidd might have got him on the wrist as that ball was squirted out of bounds. The Lakers will maintain possession with 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Glenn Rice. The bank is closed for him. Shaq battling for the rebound, but it's out of bounds off the Lakers.
Now Luke Longley is out of the game. The reason he's out of the game, he has 2 fouls, and Scott Skiles does not want him to get his 3rd one here at the end of the half. Cliff Robinson already has 3. He's trying to protect him going into that second half.
Hardaway. Short with this one, but he's got it back.
Jason Kidd said, get yourself back down in the low post. Let's go through you right now. So there's Hardaway once again down low.
Spinning into a crowd, that won't count, but it looked pretty good as he flipped it back over his head with the left hand. The foul was on Harper. That's 2 on him. A minute 19 to play in the half. Los Angeles by 4. Tonight on NBC, Jason and the Argonauts, a world premiere miniseries. He traveled to the end of the world and faced impossible odds to capture the Golden Fleece and rescue a kingdom. The classic story tonight on NBC, Jason and the Argonauts. Penny now has a dozen in this quarter for the Suns, as does Shaq for the Lakers.
Well, Scott Skiles has chosen to put Luke Longley back in the game. I still think it's very important that Luke does not pick up his 3rd foul in the last minute of this half.
Kobe Bryant. Shaq is there to clean up the mess. He has 18 for the game. 14 of them in this period. Todd Day lost it. It goes to the Lakers.
See, Todd Day has just checked into the game. Don't try to do too much too quickly. Work yourself in. Even though there's only a minute to go, don't come down there and quickly turn that ball over.
Glenn Rice. Contact and a foul with just under 40 seconds to play in the half. It's number 1 on Todd Day.
I thought that was going to be 3rd on Longley. They're very fortunate that time, Bob, as Luke Longley was the last one in there, but Todd Day called for the reach-in foul. Now you got 39.7 seconds to go here. Great opportunity to get 2 for 1. And the Suns do that. They might take a quick 3. If that's the case, keep your eye on Todd Day.
Shaquille O'Neal goes out with 2 fouls, and they don't want to risk a 3rd. And Travis Knight will replace him.
See, now Luke will sit down because you're going that matchup situation now with L.A. going to a smaller lineup. You'll put Rodney Rogers out there on the floor.
Rice looking for his 5th point. Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal are the only Lakers with more than 1 field goal in this first half.
They got off to a real slow start, Bob. We talked about 1 for 7 and 1 for 6. Since then, they've heated up. I thought they were just a little excited, too hyper there to start the game.
Let's see if Jason Kidd is thinking as you were about a 2 for 1. Wasting some clock here if that's their intention. Penny Hardaway knocked away. Phoenix will keep it. 10 on the shot clock, 25.6 on the game clock.
Well, Scott Skiles is very upset. He said, look, I want the same call on this end. That's my star, Penny Hardaway, going to the basket. When he gets fouled, I want that same call. Let's see if he got the referees here.
Jason Kidd threads the needle to Rodney Rogers, and he'll be coming to the free throw line.
I think he did. I think he got the referees there. There's sometimes you got to speak your piece and then go sit down. That's exactly what Scott Skiles did. He got the foul.
The all-time planting of a seed might have occurred, though, between Game 4 in Sacramento and Game 5 here in Round 1, when Phil Jackson was harping on the fact that Sacramento, dropping back defensively to help out in the paint against Shaq, was, in his view, guilty of an illegal defense. Rick Adelman's team got hit with 2 illegal defense calls in the first couple of minutes of the game, and at that point, the game was over, really.
Yeah, you and I were riding in the car here. We're listening on the radio, and we both looked at each other and said, the game might be over before we get there, and basically it was after that first period.
Yeah, but we got to listen to Chick Hearn.
That's right.
By the time we got to our seats, the Lakers were up 15. Kidd reaching in, pokes it to the backcourt. Lakers still have 5 seconds. Kobe Bryant, this is his time, but it got knocked away. Rodney Rogers heaves it at the horn. When you've got to make something happen with 4 or 5 seconds to go, there's nobody better than Kobe Bryant, but he couldn't keep the handle there. So the Lakers, who led by as many as 9 late in the second quarter, are up by 5, heading for the locker room. Stay tuned for Hannah Storm in our New York studios, along with Isaiah Thomas and Mike Fratello with Net Zero at the half. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. And an extremely well choreographed routine as we welcome you back for the start of the second half. Doug Collins, Bob Costas, your observations on the first 24 minutes.
Well, the Lakers defense saved them in that first half. That's the reason they're up 5, and they did it with block shots and with forcing turnovers. Shawn Marion goes to the basket here, one of 8 block shots by the Lakers. It triggers a spectacular three-point play in the open court by Kobe Bryant. 12 turnovers by Phoenix that led to 14 points. So I think that what the difference in the game right now is their ability to be able to get in the open court, get some easy baskets. And then you see 3 of 12, Rodney Rogers, Cliff Robinson. We talked about how important they are. You throw in Luke Longley, 1 of 5. So 4 of 17 for their big men shooting the basketball. That won't get it done. They've got to be able to do a better job than that, Bob.
And here's Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Phil Jackson telling his team at halftime they had a horrible half. They cannot be happy with that. First of all, they gave up way too many offensive rebounds, and the people they want to concentrate in the second half is shutting down Penny Hardaway and Shawn Marion. Scott Skiles, on the other hand, the only thing that he said they could be happy with that they're only 5 points down. They got to box out, take care of the ball, way too many turnovers. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. Shaq wound up shooting 7 for 15 in the half. At one point, he was 1 for 7.
When we looked at his shot chart at halftime, Bob, when they in between the break, what was interesting, he made 1 field goal, took 1 shot outside the paint. That means he had 14 shots point blank inside, and as he calmed down, he made 6 of his last 8 shots that you talked about. So you have to feel that Shaquille is starting to get into a rhythm. You know, when you change from one team to another in a series, sometimes there's a feeling out process to what they're doing to you defensively.
Shaq had 32 with 18 rebounds Friday when they closed out Sacramento. Phoenix begins the second half with another turnover, and Bryant is fouled on his way to the hoop.
That's Luke Longley's 4th turnover in the ball game, and this is exactly what Scott Skiles did not want. He talked to Ahmad about it at halftime. Take care of the basketball. First possession, the little lazy pass by Luke, the careless effort, and here is Kobe Bryant once again in the open court. Remember, 14 points off turnovers to 0 in the first half for the Lakers. Finishes the three-point play here, which is so 17-0 in points off turnovers, and we're looking at an 8-point game.
It was Penny who fouled him, his second. Kobe now has 15 for the game. Jason Kidd. Cliff Robinson on the move. Only a couple of ticks left on the clock before the shot clock would have expired as he puts that one down.
Well, he's their leading scorer at almost 19 points a game. That's only his 4th field goal attempt. Now remember, he does have 3 fouls.
Rice fell down, and he's clutching the lower part of his left leg. But he gets back up, although he is hobbling as he heads back on defense. Here's Hardaway, floating baseline, gives it up to Marion.
There's no sympathy in basketball. They were trying to score with him limping. You know, you either have to take a foul or wait till you get the basketball to get it back. Take a 20-second timeout, maybe get him out of the game. You see him still limping here very severely as he goes down the floor.
And the Lakers do ask for time. A 20-second timeout taken by the Lakers so they can check on the condition of Glenn Rice.
We'll take a look at Glenn Rice here as he's lacing up that left sneaker a little tighter, but he's got some interesting ankle bracelets on. What you see, those little black bands around his wrist or around his ankles are his ankle wraps. You see him go down there. It's like he just turned his ankle just a little bit. But some unorthodox wraps here that he uses. Bob, I'm surprised when you have your ankles wrapped like that and you have that brace up above your ankle. Instead of rolling your ankle, what happens is that you have a tendency to hurt your knee, like when you're skiing, when you're in that big boot, you can't roll your ankle, it goes to your knee. So interesting that he wears those kind of braces.
Ron Harper, 4 seconds to shoot. O'Neal to the cutting Green, and AC Green on the double pump misses, and it's a 24-second violation as it didn't hit the rim coming off the glass.
You can see the importance there of Shawn Marion, too. I talked about his ability to block shots. He was back there to create that opportunity and get the shot clock violation. Chased AC Green off that jump shot.
Longley, given a bit of room by Shaq. Here's Penny for 3. AC Green will take it. Bryant high dribbles his way into the front court, eyed by Kidd. They get it deep to Shaq. He follows his own shot a second time.
He is just so powerful when he lays the ball in. What you'd like to be able to do is get your body back on him, but he bumps you and rocks you forward, and now you're underneath the basket, and he just played volleyball with that one, got it on the third attempt.
Cliff Robinson fouled over the back on what could have been a three-point play.
When he catches the ball this deep and he missed the shot, look where Luke Longley is now. The third time that he goes up, he's completely out of the play. Shaq just sort of keeps bumping you forward till eventually he gets that third rebound and follows his own shot up. And again, offensive rebounding so critical to the Lakers' success.
Cliff Robinson at the line, leading scorer for Phoenix during the regular season, so far third in the playoffs. A career 16-point scorer and 46% shooter. This is the 90th playoff game of his career. His career playoff average is 10 points a game and 40% accuracy. That is a bad career-long pattern for a guy who, by and large, has been a fine player. Six on the shot clock as they find Shaq. And once he's spun by Longley, the case was closed.
Now, when you watch the Lakers play, the one thing they do is they get the ball from one side to the other, and Shaq follows it. And when he does, he seals you in that lane, and then it is too late.
Hardaway continues his fine play.
Well, he is really playing well. The thing I like about what he's doing, he's got a great rhythm to his game right now, not forcing anything, and he's very confident with that jump shot.
He has 18 for the game. He averaged 17 during the season. Kobe, Kidd reached around him and fouled him.
Bob, this is what I'm talking about here. Okay, the ball is swinging right there, and then watch where Shaq goes, and he seals himself right here in the lane. And when he does, he gets it so deep that you have no chance. Follows the pass, gets it right inside, and right there you are in serious trouble. Shaquille O'Neal, the powerful finish. The Lakers lead by 6. 8:41 to go here in the third period.
PG-13 starts this Friday.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Pepsi, the joy of cola. By Jeep Grand Cherokee with legendary off-road capability. And by Adidas, long live sport.
This was the question facing Rick Adelman in round one, Scott Skiles and his staff, and all their big men who at various times find themselves on Shaq, wondering how do you contend with him and what's legal and what's not.
Yes. That's all I'm doing is walking across the lane with him.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, when he goes, Cliff, when he goes across.
I can walk with him.
Okay,
man.
but I thought you put a little too much force into pushing him out.
Now, he's walking across the lane like that. How are we supposed to play it? You know what I mean? When he's bogarting us to try to get in position right there in the middle of the lane.
It's a difficult situation either way for us, too, because he's so big and you're trying to prevent. I know he's 350, so we'll take a look.
See, Bob, one of the things that's happened is with the rules now where they're really enforcing writing out that post player. See Kobe Bryant take the little jump shot and Shaq with the follow-up. But what it does is with a guy like Shaquille O'Neal, he gets that little shoulder and he makes that cut in and you're not allowed to ride him. And as a defensive player, you go, what can we do to keep this guy out of the lane? And there's nothing you can do. You got to hope he misses the shot.
You heard Cliff Robinson say, hey, he's bogarting us. And is he ever? If I'm not mistaken, the last movie Bogey ever made was called The Harder They Fall. That's what Phoenix hopes the story of this series is. Here's Robinson on the run with the left hand. Gets his own rebound and blows it. And Shaq takes it for L.A.
Cliff Robinson's got to dunk that one.
Harper. Green underneath.
Again, second shot opportunities, Bob. When you play the Lakers, we talk about it, but 58 offensive rebounds at home against Sacramento in those 3 games.
Rice puts it on the floor, rises up in the lane, and connects.
Danger time right now if you're the Phoenix Suns. You've got to come down and you've got to get a shot for either a Penny Hardaway, a Cliff Robinson. You've got to get a good shot on this possession.
Robinson finally got one to drop, and as much a release of tension as anything else. Look at him.
Well, Jason Kidd has got to be really aware right now who his scorers on the floor. Not Luke Longley, not Sean Marion. He's going to get things around the basket. But Cliff Robinson and Penny have to be the guys until Rodney Rogers comes in.
Rice missed. Robinson rebounded. Sean Marion pulls up and misses badly.
Should have made the extra pass. Penny Hardaway was standing wide open at the three-point line.
Rice is free, but can't hit. Jason Kidd, who led the league in assists and was the top rebounding guard in the NBA. Longley can't find the handle, finally recovers it, but his saving pass is picked off by Bryant. Kobe, look out. Oh, man.
Luke Longley's having a nightmare of a game. He's got 5 turnovers in the game, and how often do we see Kobe Bryant in that open floor where he is sensational? Luke Longley is passing up open shots and getting himself into trouble trying to dribble the basketball.
Kidd from Hardaway makes the extra pass to Marion, and finally Longley gets an easy one.
There's a little frustration there for Luke Longley. He just went strong to the basket. And you can see Scott Skiles is getting ready to go to his bench. Rodney Rogers, 6th man of the year, getting ready to come in along with Corey Blunt. Those guys have got to give them some energy here as the Lakers are starting to take control.
Kobe for 3. What can't he do?
The answer is nothing.
He has 20. Kidd for 3. Can't answer. Long rebound to Harper. Lakers up by 11. Shaq is just grabbed by Longley. He had no other choice.
Well, Kobe Bryant had gotten off to a slow start, one of his first 7 field goals. You cannot say that now. He has been electric in the open floor, spinning, whirling, taking the ball between his legs, almost identical to the play he made in the first half when he got fouled. And this time, Penny Hardaway was, I got to give you a little space here. I'm not going to let you get to the basket, and he drains the 3. So inside, outside, defensively, stealing the basketball, getting in the open court, breaking this game open now. The Suns trail by 11.
Shaq's miss was his first of the game. He's now 4 for 5 at the line. And misses them both on this trip.
See, Kobe is very active, Bob, defensive. You watch him, he's leaving Jason Kidd and really looking to help out.
Harper with the steal. Now in a foot race with Rogers, and Harper has it blocked. Kidd trailing the play, takes the rebound. Robinson set up for a 3.
Wow, that's a 5-point turnaround. What a big swing that time for Phoenix. Instead of a layup, the great block shot, the 3 by Cliff Robinson. Bob, instead of being down by 14, you're down by 8. Or actually, 13, you're down by 8. So 5-point swing there, and they're staying in the game. Ron Harper now, when he was coming out of college, he would have dunked this basketball. That bad knee does not have that lift anymore. Rodney Rogers does not hang his head. He gets back. He gets the block. Penny Hardaway, eyes up. He finds Cliff Robinson. A big sigh of relief for the Phoenix Suns fan as they need to see more of that from Cliff Robinson. And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Jason London looking pretty friendly with the man who killed his father and stole his kingdom, which is what Dennis Hopper does as King Peleus in Jason and the Argonauts. How about Hopper's filmography? Easy Rider, a couple of films with James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause, and Giant, Apocalypse Now, Hoosiers.
I loved him in Hoosiers.
Oh,
loved
man.
him.
Might be the best basketball film ever, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's up there. Lakers by 8. Kobe in traffic, misses. And Jason Kidd brings it back for Phoenix.
Rodney Rogers got to work himself, get involved in this game right now, Bob. They need him to score some points. Cliff Robinson's starting to get it going a little bit. Now they need Rogers.
Kidd underneath, slings it back out to Blunt. His pass deflected by Kobe. Bryant, 1-on-2, behind the back. They wave the basket off. They wave it off. They don't give him the continuation. But you know what?
Look at
Even Jack Nicholson is perplexed.
He said, I thought I could act. This guy right here is unbelievable. Look at this steal by Kobe Bryant. This is why he's first league all defense. Now watch this play. Behind the back, gets bumped, and then brings it to the other side of the basket, kisses it off the glass. So even though it doesn't count, what a spectacular play.
Now here's AC Green. A more conventional basket, and that one counts. The frightening thing is that Kobe Bryant is just 21 years old.
And 21 is the number. 21 points off turnovers to 0. You look up now, you're down 10, and you're minus 21 points off turnovers. And one of the things you do is force turnovers. So a bad sign is the Lakers now starting to take control of the backboard. And Bob, we talked about they were going to out-rebound the Suns. The Suns had to beat them with the turnovers.
And it's gone the opposite way. After Hardaway's three spins out, the Lakers are back to the attack, and Shaq ups the lead to a dozen. He has 26. Luke Longley, a concerned spectator. Robinson's three is short. It bounces out of bounds and belongs to L.A.
You know, you don't think of great players of, getting real excited or hyper before a game. And I think that when you see Shaquille O'Neal now, look at the rhythm. He's got a little tired, and with that, his rhythm, he's slowed down. His shooting has gone way up. Both he and Kobe, after the slow start, right now are just picking and choosing what they want to do out there.
Shaq again. Plus bring him to the line.
He just discourages you. You fight, you battle, and this big guy gets inside. He just plants himself like a big old oak tree, pump fakes, and then the strong finish and the soft touch. Shaquille O'Neal is showing you just one of the few things he's done to where they're going to hand him this trophy here real soon about being the MVP of the league. I think that's just a given. It's just a matter of when they're going to hand it to him.
And the only question really is, will it be unanimous? That has never happened. Michael Jordan came close on a couple of occasions, but no one has ever been the unanimous MVP. Shaq might be this year. I don't know how you could make a case for anyone else. Lakers up 15, their biggest lead. Hardaway was fouled by Kobe. No, says Bryant. Yes, says Don Vaden. And it's his opinion that counts. 3 on Kobe. And he hits the first. Next Saturday, more NBA playoff action. Showtime begins things at 3 o'clock Eastern. And it's Indy and Philly. How about Reggie Miller? 41 in the last game against the Bucks, 40 in the first game against the 76ers, matched by his teammate Jalen Rose. Only the 4th time teammates have had 40 or more in the same playoff game in NBA history. AC Green has hit 2 in a row.
Now, if you have a weak link in the Laker attack,
Shaq steals it off the inbound. Sorry to interrupt, Doug. And he was fouled.
Now, I was going to say, if you have a weak link, it's that you got to make AC Green and Ron Harper make some jump shots. AC Green came out in Game 5, hit some jump shots that gave his team a huge lift in the Sacramento series. Today, shooting the ball well, and Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe have their fingerprints and imprints all over this game today.
Shaq stole it. The foul was on Blunt. But to put it bluntly, Phoenix just can't contend with Shaq.
There are a lot of ways to dominate a basketball game. And look at the numbers by Kobe Bryant. The rebounds, the steals, the block shots. And what he's done here to disrupt the Phoenix Suns. You see the great block of the Sean Marion alley-oop. Playing Jason Kidd, gets him in from behind and blocks his shot from behind. The long arms in the steal. And the magnificent moves in the open court. And then he picks off the cross-court pass from Luke Longley. And once again, the tremendous finish on the fast break. break. And all-league defense, who were they? Let's take a look. Tim Duncan, Garnett, Alonzo Mourning, Gary Payton, and Kobe Bryant, first team. And then the second team, you see Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Jason Kidd. And Bob, you and I saw Kobe Friday night after the Sacramento game. You interviewed him for Showtime, and how excited he was when he found out he was first league all-defense. He's taken tremendous pride in being a great all-round player.
One more coming for Shaq. Lots of ways to measure the impact Phil Jackson has had here in Los Angeles. But the fact that Kobe makes first-team all-defense and Shaq is second-team all-defense might be as good a measure as any.
Yeah, and I think what also, too, when you see when the Lakers lose and Shaq doesn't have his points and Kobe throws up big numbers, it sort of skews their attack. When Shaq is the dominant offensive player and Kobe's number 2, they're almost unbeatable.
Cliff Robinson through the lane. Now Kevin Johnson. Penny Hardaway. Could be a three-point play. Phoenix is struggling here, but it certainly isn't Penny's fault.
You're so right there. If it weren't for Penny Hardaway right now, they'd be down by about 20 points. KJ's going to penetrate, and who does he run into once again? Shaquille O'Neal right underneath the basket. And Penny Hardaway with a little spot-up jump shot and the foul on Kobe, so the three-point play opportunity. And once again, he misses the free throw. Rice with the rebound, but Penny Hardaway is playing a very good basketball game today. He needs some help out there.
He has scored 22. The last foul was on Bryant, which gives him 4. Here's Travis Knight, who's just come in for Shaq. Handing to Derek Fisher. Now he has it back, and he will try a shot that Oliver Miller blocks. This is Miller's first appearance. They had not used him against Shaq. When he went out, they decided to let Miller play against Knight.
Well, Oliver Miller went through a stretch this season where he was the best center for the Phoenix Suns. Then he got heavy, and they would not allow him to suit up and play until he lost some weight, and they could use him in this series. Remember now, Oliver Miller started for that 93 team that went to the finals and played very well.
Knight missed, but Green gives them a fresh shot clock with the offensive rebound, and Rice pumps up a 3 that's in and out. Kobe Bryant somehow comes away with the ball. Splits 2 defenders. Robinson fouled him. He got the shot off just for the heck of it. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever seen a great player that wasn't electric out there with their energy, that just totally, the building you can feel when this guy shakes the ball loose, that something spectacular is going to happen?
All of these things are subjective. But the guy I most enjoy watching play in the league right now is Kobe.
And you know what? He's been a guy that's gone through a lot early in his career when he was anointed the next Michael Jordan. He went to the All-Star game and the stuff that he went through there, and he's fought through it. You can see what he's done here. I have the most respect for this young guy because, you know what, every time you talk to him, winning is the most important thing, and he's worked himself into me, in my estimation, the best 2-guard in the NBA on both ends of the floor.
1 of 2 free throws, Lakers by 15. Nice pass from Johnson to Miller. He couldn't hit it. Bodies flying. And play stopped. Foul number 1 on AC Green. Kobe out for a breather. 1:02 to play in the third.
I think he deserves a little rest here, don't you, Bob? You see the numbers 21, 1, and 3. They don't overwhelm me there. The 3-0 turnover is not something that he would love to have. But the big 3 sitting down right now with a 15-point lead, a minute to go here in this period. Phil Jackson feels like it's a good time to be able to buy these guys a little rest and then see how much he can keep them there until he has to bring them back in the fourth quarter.
Miller knocks down the second one. Phoenix with a little pressure on the inbound. Shaw doubled in the backcourt, gets it out of there tonight.
You see very little dribbling when you play the Lakers. They usually pass the ball. That time an error by Travis Knight against the trap.
Hardaway. And a Phoenix turnover.
Now Scott Skiles is going to get this film out if they go on to lose this game, and he's going to get all those turnovers, and he's going to talk to his team. Now there's a guy who was a point guard, and he played the game. He knew that you had to take care of the basketball, especially when you're playing a team that's so heavily favored. You just can't throw the ball all over the gym, and that's what they've done today.
Skiles was a good point guard. Can you imagine 30 assists in one game, which he had, an NBA single-game record?
I don't think I've passed 30 times in one game, let alone 30 assists.
That one hits the side of the glass, and Phoenix comes out with it. 30 assists might have been a season's work for you.
There you go.
That broke a record that Kevin Porter had held with 29. Bob Cousy and John Stockton each had 28 assists in a game at one point in their careers. 7.3 on the clock, and a Los Angeles foul. Next Sunday, an NBA on NBC playoff tripleheader begins with showtime at noon Eastern. Game 1, Miami and New York. That'll be Game 4 from Madison Square Garden. Game 4 of Portland and Utah from the Delta Center will follow. And then Game 4 of this series, Doug, Ahmad, and I will be there in Phoenix for Game 4. Tomorrow night, Sixers-Pacers with Indy up 1-0. Game 2 of that series. And a loose ball foul is called with just over 4 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Rodney Rogers just has not been able to get it going. That time he gets an offensive rebound and misses the shot, and then in his frustration goes right over the top of AC Green and gets the foul. You can see 2 of 10. And this is the guy who was the 6th Man of the Year award. We talked about it, how important it is when he scores 13 or more points. This team is 38-12. And the Lakers have zeroed in on him. They said, we are not going to let this guy come in and hurt us.
So now here's AC Green to the free throw line. In the Sacramento series, his minutes, points, and rebounds were down from his numbers during the regular season, but he showed signs of life with 10 points and 6 assists in Game 5. 6 rebounds, rather, in Game 5. That's his 7th point in this game. And he also has 6 rebounds in this one against Phoenix, so he's done pretty well.
Well, when you look at Robert Horry and AC Green, normally AC Green plays the first quarter and the third quarter, and then Robert Horry plays the second and fourth. And what you'd like to get as a combination is somewhere in double figures, anywhere from 10 to 13 points from those guys combined, and 10 or 11 rebounds, and they have done that. And Bob, if you remember correctly, when they started the season, they were desperately looking for a power forward. They felt that that position wasn't going to be able to get it done for the Lakers, but those guys have done a nice job.
4.3 seconds now for Phoenix to try to get off the last shot of the third quarter. They trail by 15. Todd Day into Kevin Johnson. On the move, beats the horn, but can't bank it in. So we'll be back after these words from your local station. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. But if after all this time that isn't clear to you, you're very confused. 5-point game at the half. Lakers open it up in the third quarter.
You can bet that Phil Jackson, one of the things he's talked to his team about, we got a 15-point lead right now. Let's take this next 3 minutes and see if we can really push this game open and finish this game up. Let's don't give Phoenix any hope of coming back.
Barring a huge fourth quarter comeback on the road, Phoenix is going to be 0 for 5 against the Lakers this year. Regular season and playoffs combined. Shaq trying to pass out of the double. Ball slapped around into the hands of Robert Horry. 1 second to shoot, and that's the way the game is gone for the Lakers.
Well, it appears what's going to happen here in this period now is the Phoenix is going to really go after Shaq and try to double him, maybe create some opportunities for themselves.
And a foul at the other end.
Like you said, though, Bob, when you have things going your way, that ball bounces loose, the shot clock is winding down, and you knock the shot in. And Scott Skiles knows. He knows what this playoffs is all about. The series is not going to be won or lost in this game. What they have to hope to do is be able to go back to Phoenix on Friday night with the series 1-1.
Hardaway cutting to the hoop, and KJ finding him. Game 2 of this series will be Wednesday here. Game 3 Friday in Phoenix. Game 4 in Phoenix a week from today on NBC.
Little full court pressure, trying to do something to get some easy scores, Bob. This game is far from over.
O'Neal, chance for a three-point play. Give the assist to Rick Fox.
But did you notice there the Lakers did not dribble the basketball? This is one of the things that Tex Winter preaches with his triangle offense. Pass the ball, don't dribble it. The ball is thrown ahead out of the trap. wait for Shaq to get in position, and the risk that you run when you get out and you spread the floor like that defensively. You see Tex Winter alongside Phil Jackson. They've been together forever from Chicago and now here. But when you spread the floor, you open it up for Shaq inside, and then you are in trouble. So you've got to be able to create some turnovers. Once they beat the press, you're in trouble.
As he went to the line, you might have heard the crowd chanting MVP, MVP. Shaq completes the three-point play. He has 33 points. And as you noted, Doug, it's long since been a foregone conclusion that he will, in fact, be the league's MVP. Foul was on Derek Fisher, his second. Phoenix ball out of bounds.
I think if there was a disappointment in the Lakers in that first round, it's how poorly they played on the road and how Sacramento really took them out of the things they wanted to do, but yet how dominating they were at home. And Phil Jackson said, really and realistically, we don't have to win a game on the road to win the championship. We have home court throughout, but he knows they have to play better than they've done in that first series. And you got to give Sacramento a lot of credit, Bob. They were terrific.
Until game 5.
Yes.
When they hardly showed up. O'Neal couldn't hit. Back comes Phoenix. Ball poked away, and Robert Horry has the steal, so Phoenix has turned it over the last 2 times down the floor. Lakers by 18. Sacramento's a real Jekyll and Hyde act, home as opposed to road games. And they played so well and so excitingly in games 3 and 4. Derek Fisher for 3 is off with it. That it's a shame not that they lost, but that they weren't more competitive in game 5 so they could take a better taste into the offseason.
Well, I think what you saw with Sacramento in that series, especially in game 5, is they still are a very immature team when it comes to being in those situations, and that's the area they're really going to have to grow up in.
Fox, little set shot out of the corner is no good. Kevin Johnson splits the defense, hands it to Robinson, but he traveled in the process. Scott Skiles next to one of his assistants, the former Suns player Frankie Johnson.
I tell you, if you want a recipe to get beat, the Lakers have 17 offensive rebounds and the Suns have 21 turnovers. You play them here at the Staples Center, you got no chance with those kind of numbers.
Derek Fisher, who's been in a long slump, which he thought he had shaken by going 4 for 6 against Sacramento Friday. Now it's O'Neal, turnaround off the glass and good, 35.
You got Rodney Rogers playing against Shaquille O'Neal. Rodney Rogers may be 6'5", and he's big and powerful, but Shaq is almost a foot taller, and there's no way he can guard him in there.
Here is Rodney Rogers, missing. Horry rebounds. Lakers are up by 20. A foul as Shaq receives the pass. And a timeout with 9:15 to play. The foul was on Rodney Rogers, his 4th. And the Lakers looking for the 1-0 edge in the series. Lead by 20.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Killian's Irish Red, which reminds you one look says a lot. By Lexus and our relentless pursuit of perfection. By the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? And by Microsoft. Where do you want to go today?
Well, when you're down by 20, it goes without saying that many things have not gone according to plan, and that's the case for Scott Skiles.
Well, you look at this, Bob. Points off turnovers, plus 24 for the Lakers. Phoenix don't even have a point. Offensive rebounds, 17. And then steals, 14. And the Lakers are not a team that forces turnovers, whereas that's one of the Suns' strengths. And it's just been opposite today as we see Rick Fox step out and knock in the 2-point shot. Now, if you're Scott Skiles, you've got a decision to make here. You maybe take the next 3 or 4 minutes trying to make a push. Remember Jason Kidd coming back with that foot. Do you let him rest a little bit more because you don't play the next game till Wednesday? So we'll have to see what Scott Skiles does here in the last few minutes of this game.
Cliff Robinson traveled. Well, here's Robinson, who barely missed making the All-Star team, and Rodney Rogers, who was the NBA's 6th man of the year. They're a combined 6 for 20 in this game. Jason Kidd, who when healthy might be the league's best point guard, no worse than second behind Gary Payton. of the Supersonics. Kidd has played about 34 minutes, has 2 points. He does have 6 rebounds and 7 assists.
Well, just watching him out there right now, he does not trust that foot. He's not moving like Jason Kidd, and they have no chance in this series if he's not right. Now, a lot of that is, I'm sure, mentally that he's got 3 screws in that foot that he's trying to be able to trust, but he is not himself, and you wouldn't expect him to be, Bob, 6 weeks after surgery.
Rodney Rogers got the roll and the foul. He'll come to the line. Chance for a 3-point play. The basket a moment ago by Derek Fisher at the other end gave him 4 points. 8:16 to play. Lakers by 22.
Well, you can see what Phil Jackson has done. He did a lot of this when he was in Chicago, putting Michael Jordan on the floor, 4 bench players, have him be the guy that's going to solidify everything, or maybe put a Pippen out there. So now he's got his bench out there with Shaq. Probably will come back in with Kobe and maybe take Shaq out. So have one of those guys out there to keep his team, you know, solidified all the time.
Ryan Shaw spinning, left alone, and popping the jumper. Rodney Rogers tries a 3. Can't get it to go down. The Suns are going to go home to Phoenix after this game and then return for Wednesday's Game 2. They're not going to spend the time in between in Los Angeles.
Then Game 3 will be on Friday in Phoenix, and then we'll have Game 4 on Sunday afternoon. So, you know, Scott Skiles and his staff and the team, they'll go back, they'll look at the tape, they'll prepare to see what they can do better. But I'm telling you, the 2 areas they're going to have to focus on is the rebounding and the turnovers. If they don't do a better job, they'll get swept in this series.
Shaq just picked up his 4th foul. Hardaway, offensive foul on him. Fisher took the hit, and Hardaway is hit with his 3rd foul. Here's Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Doug, just to follow up on the things you're saying about Jason Kidd, it does appear that he's out there laboring with that ankle right now as he's going. When I talked to him before the game, though, he said he doesn't have any pain, but he knows that he has those 3 screws in there, so the adjustment he has to make is mentally getting over that, and that's a hard thing to do, knowing that you have those screws there. And maybe the more he plays, the more he gets used to that, but he does appear to be limping as we watch him now. Bob?
How about the touch and the finesse displayed there by Shaquille O'Neal? Here's a man who's 7'1", weighs close to 340 pounds. Jason Kidd way off with an attempted 3. They list Shaq at 315, but everybody knows he's more than that. Not much fat on that body of his either.
Well, he's playing in such a great rhythm, and what he's done within this triangle offense is he knows exactly where he wants to go. His teammates know exactly where to look for him. Right in the heart of the defense, he turns. This time he misses the shot, but he just goes from post to post, and they look for him on every possession.
Hardaway lobs it up from Marion, and the rookie gets up on that pogo stick to slam it down.
I tell you, he reminds me of a smaller version of Larry Nance. Remember Larry Nance?
Yeah.
Great player. Not as big as Larry Nance, but he's got that bounce, that quickness, can block shots, and he's got a chance to be a terrific young player there for the Phoenix Suns.
Larry Nance, great rebounder and dunker in his day. Fox traveled. 6:07 remaining.
Well, this is what you talked about, Bob. Shaquille O'Neal. Now he's added the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar skyhook to the arsenal of drop steps, power moves, and dunks. Doesn't look good right now for the Suns.
Phoenix has a number of versatile players who pose matchup problems for many teams on both ends of the floor, but they don't have a consistent pivot presence to contend with Shaquille O'Neal, if anybody really does.
Well, you see that arsenal we talked about: jump hooks, layups, dunks, short jumpers. Cliff Robinson with a nice little drive to the basket. But the problem, you know, when you try to gear your defense, we talked to Scott Skiles about this yesterday. You start thinking about how do you defend against Shaq. And the one thing the Lakers do when they come down on offense, they don't line up in the same spots all the time. So it's not like you can gear your defense to run down and double team him from a certain position. They've always got Shaq in different positions. Now, would you like, as a coach, that kind of shot chart there if you're Phil Jackson? I would say that's some pretty point-blank shots. The only shot outside the lane was the first one he made to start the game.
Fox got back. The pass was a bit overthrown, so he circles outside. Inside 6 minutes. Shaw from Shaq. Out of bounds and touched last by Phoenix. A moment ago you saw Scott Skiles on the Suns bench in between his two assistants, Frankie Johnson, whom we mentioned. And there to Skiles' left, camera right, is John McLeod, former coach at Notre Dame and Oklahoma and NBA coach as well. Former head coach of the Phoenix Suns, for that matter.
Hey, John McLeod came to my hometown, Benton, Illinois, in 1969 to try to recruit me to go to Oklahoma University. That's when he was coaching in Oklahoma.
And why did you turn him down?
Oklahoma, too far away from me. I was a hometown boy. I had to go to Illinois State. But he was a great guy then and still is now, and a terrific coach, and really has become sort of a mentor for Scott Skiles. That's why they brought him in. But I do know that he has aspirations of being a head coach once again, so we'll have to see what happens.
Jason Kidd had to change the shot. He was fouled by Robert Horry. That's 4 on Horry. And Kidd to the free throw line. As we mentioned earlier, tonight, the world premiere of the miniseries Jason and the Argonauts, as the classic story becomes an epic adventure. Dennis Hopper, Frank Langella, Jason London in the cast. Jason and the Argonauts on NBC. Kobe Bryant, a three-pointer. Spins out. And back comes Hardaway for Phoenix. Penny to the hoop. Acrobatic attempt. Rebound Bryant. Inside 5 minutes as we play out the string. O'Neal got it deep. And a 3-second violation. He was camped in there too long.
Look at the Phoenix bench right now. They go, oh yeah, call 3 seconds now when it's 90-69. The coaching staff call it 3 seconds now. We've been begging for that the entire game.
Where were you when we needed you? Robinson for 3. Brian Shaw rebounds. Kobe and Shaq both out on the floor. Last 4.5 minutes. Issue long since decided. Bryant fouled.
I think that Scott Skiles is going to pull the plug right now for the Suns. He's coming in with Randy Livingston, Todd Day, and Toby Bailey as Jason Kidd will sit down. Looks like Rodney Rogers will have a seat along with, who else? Penny Hardaway. So he has decided to take out his team, and I think Phil Jackson is going to follow in short. Here comes John Sally, Devin George back into the game, Shaquille O'Neal, Rick Fox lead. Shaq with a huge hand and a huge game.
Shaq 37 points, 14 rebounds, 4 blocks. Sally to George. The two who just came in almost combined on that one, but George couldn't hit the layup. Then the tip drops. And it's Kobe who gets credit for the basket. He has 23. Todd Day. Rebound Shaw.
I think you see Kobe come out on the next dead ball situation as we see Derek Fisher getting ready to check into the game. Kobe knows that. He said, I'm going to try to get 2 more points here before Coach takes me out of the game.
And the foul is on Todd Day. Number 2 for the former Arkansas Razorback, who played in the CBA last year, has also played in Italy. And his fine performance, speaking of Day, against San Antonio, as Phoenix knocked the defending champs out of the playoffs, may have solidified his position next year. He's, kind of a guy on the fringe. That was one of the big moments of his career.
Well, when you and I, we were in Salt Lake getting ready to do the game, and we saw that ball game, and it looked like San Antonio had possession of that game in their hand, up 10, and Todd Day comes in with 16 points, actually outscores the Spurs team by himself in the 4th quarter. That put them up 2-1, and then they were able to close it out in Game 4. So that game in itself maybe vaulted this team into the 2nd round.
Spurs were never able to get Tim Duncan healthy enough to play. And so they give up their crown at less than full strength. 25 now for Bryant. Oliver Miller guarded by Sally. Here's Randy Livingston. Way short with it. Marion rebounds. And Sally fouled it. And now Kobe Bryant goes out.
You know what Phil Jackson did? He didn't take him out at the same time. He took Shaq out, let him get his hand, let Kobe play for about another 40 seconds, takes him out, lets the crowd acknowledge him. You know, that's just a coach also to tell him to the players, you know, thanks for the effort, and I want the fans to be able to recognize what you've done, not only today, for this entire season.
Lakers by 23. Here's John Sally, who has a chance this year to become the first player in NBA history to win championship rings with 3 different franchises. Lots of guys have done it with 2. Travis Knight connects. Sally was an integral part of the Detroit Pistons championship teams and kind of along for the ride, which he'll cheerfully acknowledge, in Chicago and now in L.A. Toby Bailey, who must still have some fans here, having played at UCLA, hits a 2-point basket.
Well, sometimes it ain't all bad being a passenger, you know? You don't always have to drive the car.
Hop on board. As long as the destination's right. The rookie Devin George pops and hits.
I like this young guy. I think he's got a chance to be a pretty good player. He's about 6'6", 6'7". Very good offensive player coming out of Division III college, but he's really improved this year from the time we saw him early in the season until now.
Randy Livingston was off with a 3. It bounces out of bounds. Will belong to the Lakers. If you stick around for the last 2:27, we'd appreciate it. Ron Harper has donned his gone fishing hat.
Might want to wait a little bit. I don't think this series is over by any stretch of the imagination. He's just sort of chilling out with, I think that's one of Shaq's company's hats, and he's probably doing a little advertising. But you saw the little graphic there, Bob. We talk so much about the Lakers and the triangle offense and all that, but when it comes down to it, they win with defense.
Devin George with an emphatic slam. His second basket.
See, I'm concerned a little bit about Jason Kidd there. I don't like the way he was moving today. Let's hope that, you know, a couple days, maybe a little rest, and he'll be able to come back on Wednesday and play much better. But I saw him limping a little bit out there today, and I didn't like that. See, Jason Kidd, you talk about a competitor now. This kid was the player of the year in high school coming out of California. He was a terrific player.
John Sally comes up with a loose ball. He's the only Laker yet to score. Speaking of Sally. Here he is. Well, he rectifies that situation. You know, we were talking about how he's kind of been along for the ride in Chicago and in Los Angeles, possibly picking up a 3rd championship ring with 3 different franchises. When the season's over, I understand he's going to offer himself to George Steinbrenner as a spare outfielder. A minute 14 to play.
Take a look at these brackets here. We see the Lakers are going to go up 1-0, and Portland quietly going about their business. A big win today against Utah. Win that series, or excuse me, that game by 19 today. Scottie Pippen playing exceptionally well. Numbers are up since the playoffs have started. And in the East, Bob, you spoke about this a while ago. The tremendous performances by Reggie Miller and Jalen Rose. They combined for 80 points as they beat Philly. And then New York, Miami, what to expect, came down to the last minute. And what happened? A timeout. Pat Riley draws up a play. A great play for Alonzo Mourning. He scores the last 8 points. They go on an 8-2 run and win that series, so that should be very interesting.
Can those two teams play a game that isn't a tooth-and-nail battle? It seems that they can. Derek Fisher for 3. Inside a minute. Randy Livingston. Livingston actually started 3 of the 4 games in the first-round series against San Antonio, but shot the ball poorly, 2 of 16, and was at the end of the bench for this game.
Well, he actually did a pretty good job in the absence of Jason Kidd when he was out, and they just brought and signed Kevin Johnson. He was trying to work himself in as we see Jason Kidd. Randy Livingston did a nice job, and then Kevin Johnson was able to come in and play the minutes that really counted. Now Randy Livingston will go back to being their third guard. But during that one little stretch, he helped them win some basketball games until Jason Kidd could get back.
Bailey makes 1 of 2. Moving in for the steal is Blunt. And he scores against his old teammates. Cliff Robinson, Rodney Rogers, Jason Kidd combined 3 for 17 from the floor. I misspoke on that. The Suns are 3 for 17 from three-point distance. Speaking of threes, there's Devin George with 1 for the Lakers. And Robinson, Rogers, and Kidd shot a combined 8 for 30. So those 3 important contributors were a combined 8 for 30. The Suns, who are a pretty good three-point shooting team and needed to hit from 3 to have a chance in this series, were 3 for 17 as a team. They didn't protect the ball well. Turnovers killed them. And they lose big time, 105-77. We'll be right back.